timeline where you kind of, meet DJ Quick to, work on a future song at the time?
Well, I was more focused on building my team up. I respected Quick and everything he did. Like I said, I did the House Party 3 soundtrack with him, but I was more so trying to build my own thing up,
Right.
to get my own thing respected. They already had Compton popping. I didn't want to be like Domino. He was from St. Louis and he claimed Long Beach.
Right.
I was more concentrating on getting my city on. That was my concentration. So no hate towards Quick, but we trying to get this cracking over here.
That debut, was it only 2 singles for that album? Or was it 3 that you came out with?
It was Clientele. It was 3. And Drama was one of them. Drama. It was Drama, Clientele, Trick with a Good Rap. You remember any of them? I think it was them 3 singles. Okay. Yeah. We didn't do a video for Drama, though.
What was that video session like for Trick with a Good Rap?
Oh, man, that was crazy, man. It was, the song It Never Rains in Southern California?
Just singing it today.
Yeah, we shot it in Southern California, and it rained that day. So if you look at the video, it was in a warehouse where the roof was missing. So it was in the rain. That's why we were in the mud. So if you look at the video, that's why you never see our shoes. Because everybody's feet was muddy.
Okay.
Yeah, we had to shoot that in the rain.
Wow.
Yeah, because he had all that shit set up. It's like, you not Run DMC, we got to shoot this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, today's the day.
Right. So
I was like, man, and we did a test run. I asked him, hey, see if the rain show up. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, and I looked at it and I was like, I can't see no rain. Let's do this motherfucker,
Right.
Yeah.
Once that album finally came out and did this thing, what do you remember most about the reviews, the Source magazine, different publications at the time?
Well, with a Source, where they got 3.5. I know we were in the BRE. I got a lot of good reviews. I got some kind of good, but I know I charted in the Billboard. I think I was on the album sales. It's 50 on the album sales, right? I think I was number 50.
Okay.
And I think I was number 7 on the hip hop singles, and a lot of the interviews I did back then, I didn't get to see because they were in different states and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I was just doing stuff. I really didn't get to see all of that because I didn't know at the time. I didn't know who half of those people were.
Right.
Right. I mean, like we had the internet.
Right.
So
overall, were you pleased with your debut project? Could it have featured somebody you wanted that didn't happen, or producers that you wanted? Did everything come together like Sylk Smoov wanted?
Well, I'm going to say no and yes. Because it's like it's things that I learned after the fact that I wish I knew then, and I'm going to say yeah because my real goal had gotten accomplished. You know what I'm saying? So you can say, like when the Source, you go to the Source interview, it say Sylk Smoov, whoop-de-whoop. Now, St. Louis is officially on the hip-hop map. Shit, that's all I came to do. I didn't come to be the greatest rapper. You know what I mean?
Right.
So my job was done. I was waiting on the next person who, I was trying to put other people on. Right. But I got a few people hooked up, but it didn't go like Trick with a Good Rap did.
Right.
You're
talking about some of the things you wish you would have knew beforehand. What are some of those things, if you don't mind sharing? What do you wish you would have knew before, going into that album?
I wish I'd have knew more about songwriting, more about just more about life. Like when I moved out to Cali, I noticed they were a lot more up on things than being a person from St. Louis. You know, I wish I knew a lot more about the industry, because at the time, at 18 years old, I had never heard what a royalty was. I remember when I first got my contract, I had to get a dictionary, merchandising. What the hell is that? You know, royalties, what are points? You know, all this type of shit I had never heard before, you know. So it's like, I wish I had had more knowledge, but thank God I got with some decent people at Total Track. You know, they were more so, they wanted to get their bag, but they wasn't on some trying to rip you off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I wish I had knew more about the business, but I didn't have anything to tell me about the business. You know, being the first one.
Right.
And